Friends, this is Father Richard Erikson. I have the great privilege of serving as a priest of the Archdiocese of Boston and as a reserve chaplain in the United States Air Force. In the 15th chapter of John, we hear Jesus telling us, "No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." Every person who's ever served in the military has been willing to do this, to lay down her or his life. In this series, No Greater Love, we're reflecting on the life and the example of a few men and women who have served God and country in military service with spiritual fortitude and with courage. St. Martin of Tours was part of a military family. His dad was a Roman soldier assigned in Hungary as a senior officer in the Imperial House Guard where Martin was born. As was the custom, at the age of 13, Martin conscripted as a soldier in the Imperial Army. One major difference between Martin and his father was that Martin's father was a pagan, and Martin became very interested in the Christian faith. Despite his parents' disapproval, Martin joined the catechumenate. In future years, Martin was able to convert his mother and other members of his family, but his father never accepted the Christian faith. During what we now know as the inquiring phase of the catechumenate, Martin determined that his newly found Christian faith was inconsistent with his military service. A quote attributed to Martin is, "I am a soldier of Christ, I cannot fight." Many refer to Martin as a conscientious objector due to this statement. That said, common practices for Christians was to not engage in bloody battles, but to serve in the active military in other ways. In a roundabout way, he became a deserter for his objection to service, and he was imprisoned. Upon his release, he dedicated himself to a religious way of life and a commitment to serve the poor. One story about Martin was that he cut his cloak in half with his military sword to serve a poor man and to share his cloak with that man. And that man was Jesus himself. This experience makes Martin the patron saint of beggars, wool weavers, and tailors. He's also the patron saint of Buenos Aires, the home of Pope Francis. Once Francis left the military service, he founded one of the earliest monasteries in France. Martin's reputation and adherence to monastic practices of prayer and service to the poor drew many members, and we could say that he led an army of monks. Known for his piety and his ability to combat Arian heresies, he was asked to serve as bishop, which he was not eager to do. To avoid being consecrated as bishop, it is said that Martin hid with a large gaggle of geese, who gave his location away. For this reason, many pieces of art include a goose as one of Martin's symbols. Even after going to those lengths, Martin was consecrated as bishop and took his duty seriously. He worked diligently to eradicate pagan practices in temples. The pagans tested Martin's resolve, asking him to stand in the path of a fir tree which they worshipped, which they were going to cut down. Martin did so, and miraculously, the tree did not crush him. Martin's attention to a structured prayer life, his willingness to face uncertain situations, assume leadership, and his fervor in faith, which compelled others to adopt the faith, show that his military training served him well in bringing souls to Christ and to the Church. Martin served as Bishop of Tours in France for 25 years. His feast day is November 11th, Veterans Day, which is very fitting for the patron saint of soldiers. Martin of Tours demonstrated there is no greater love than to serve God and neighbor with one's life. We join St. Martin in praying for and working towards peace.